Appalachia is an area of the United States covering 13 states, including the entirety of West Virginia. Despite its gorgeous landscapes and proud communities, the region is perceived as struggling, especially in its economy.
Appalachia is a region apart from the rest of the United States, and that was declared by an act of Congress in 1968 with the Appalachian Regional Commission. They picked out the counties from Maine all the way to Louisiana and said, okay, this is Appalachia. This is a region of the country that is economically suffering, and we have to come in here and do something. And a lot of that suffering comes from the overproduction of coal and timber in the 1910s, 20s, and 30s leading up to the Second World War, and then the collapse after that.
Of 17,000 men employed, 13,000 work underground. Let us join them on the air as the miners are lowered smoothly and safely to a depth equivalent to a 100-story building. Besides the miners,
Starting in the 1810s, the Appalachian economy would be primarily focused on the coal industry. It would become the best source for job opportunities in the region. However, miners were not always treated fairly in the workplace. Unions began to form within the mines, giving way to the United Mine Workers of America. The newly formed unions organized strikes to get the coal companies' attention and fight for fair wages and safety laws. They eventually won their fight, but it came with a great price. Multiple miners were killed for their involvement in the strikes.
A lot of people were sent to die. Yeah, there'll be whole communities of people that were just shipped over from Europe to come die in a coal mine. And their coal mine would collapse, and there'd be no one locally who really knew these people. But you'd have entire communities in, Italy, Poland, Eastern Europe who would mourn, and they're still mourning the loss of, these men and women who just disappeared.
Among fair wages and safety laws, miners would also fight for health benefits. Those within the mines were subject to coal dust and were likely to contract the disease known as black lung. President Nixon would sign the Black Lung Benefits in 1972, granting better benefits to retired miners and widows.
What would happen typically is coal companies would had to put money into a trust for anyone who suffered from black lung silicosis. That's when the material gets inside of you and stays there. And a lot of workers would be told to go to the coal company's doctor. And that doctor has a financial incentive to not say that you have black lung, that you have asthma, this is caused by something other pre-existing condition, and they weren't covered. So you'd have hundreds of people who would have, a debilitating illness where they could not breathe, caused by where they would work, and then their work wouldn't be there to protect them afterwards.